All right, we're taking a look at how to play in common keys and think in different keys at the same time, and have those grouped in your understanding so that you can transpose tunes quickly, especially for those of you who accompany your own singing, or for those guitar players out there who are accompanying a singer. This is stuff that you've absolutely got to know. All right, so five most common keys, easy to remember: C, A, G, E, and D. They spell the word caged. Those are the five most common open keys, right? And in the case of a C chord and an F chord and a G chord, as we have here, those fall under categories: a tonic in the key of C, a subdominant in the key of C, and a dominant chord in the key of C. The subdominant chord is sort of a middle tension, whereas the dominant chord is a more tense sounding chord that really wants to resolve back to its happy place, which is the tonic. All right. Now, what I'd like to do is take these keys and apply them to a simple tune, a simple chord progression. This chord progression is what we call a 1-6-4-5 chord progression. The one chord is built on the first degree of the C major scale. The sixth chord is built on the sixth degree of the corresponding major scale, right? Or also known as the relative minor to the one chord. And then the four chord, the five chord, and the one chord. All right. So in the key of C, we have a one. Six, 4, 5. All right. Now the melody here is and I'm going to try to sing this because I want you to hear how the melody works. This melody starts on the third of the C chord, right? And this might be high. I could take it down an octave. Sure, let's take it down an octave. So this is like, when the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see. Okay, so that's in the key of C. The reason I'm singing it is because I want you to hear the effect that it has on my voice. Okay, so let's say I don't like that key. And so what I want to do is change it, same chord progression, except I'm changing it to G. And so before, when I was in the key of C, the starting note was the third of the key, the third of the C, C, D, E. It's going to be the same with the key of G, G, A, B. My starting note is going to be a B. Whoa, that's going to be high. Well, the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see. Okay, so without a doubt, there's something different going on there. Before I was in a completely different part of my range, melodically speaking, and then when I went to the next key, it got bumped up quite considerably, and so it sounds quite different, as it would if you were playing for a singer or if you're playing for yourself. So maybe I should try the key of D. So in the key of D, the starting note is going to be D, E, F sharp, right? That's the third of the key. of feels comfy for me there. You know, that's a nice key. I mean, I have to try really hard if I'm in the key of G, and I'm not sure if I want to try that hard. But what's going to be important, melodically speaking, is that it's going to be comfortable for the singer. The singer is going to be happy to sing in whatever key that is. Let's try it in the key of A. So in the key of A, what's my melody note going to be? The starting note, A, B, C sharp, right? Well, the night has come, and the land is dark, and the moon, 4-chord, is the only 5 light we'll see. Okay, so clearly I have to go into a falsetto. It's like, woo, I'm sort of in a different place, and I'm not sure if that's going to really work great. But maybe I'd have to practice or something. And then in the key of E, E, F, G sharp. Well, the night has come, and the land is dark, and the moon is the only light we'll see. Well, I won't, and so on. So that sits sort of fairly well for me. I haven't sung in years. But the point I'm trying to make is that every time you change key, it's going to have an effect on the melody. It's going to have an effect of where the melody sits in the range for the singer or the melody instrument. And these are things that you should be able to do on the fly, like right now. Oh, I don't like the key of G. It doesn't work for me. Could we change that? What's a close key to the key of G, right? Think of the musical alphabet. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. A is a close key to the key of G, right? So all I'd have to do is we'd be doing is just bumping it up a tone. Well, here, let's try it in the key of A. How does that feel? Of course, another way you could do it is cheat and use a capo, right? I'm not suggesting that capos are always, for cheating, because sometimes they're really, really effective. But you could sort of just, I'm just capo it up a tone. But this way, you get to use more of the instrument when you don't just jump to a capo. But there are times when that's okay. So also, at the beginning, I said that we have the 6 chord, right? So we have the 1, the 6, the 4, and the 5. Down here, I don't have the 1, 6, 4, and 5 written, but as you should be able to know, you could go up 6 to get the relative minor. G, A, B, C, D, E. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the relative minor of G. D, E, F, G, A, B minor is the relative minor of D. A, B, C, D, E, F sharp minor is the relative minor of A. And E, F, G, A, B, C sharp is the relative minor of E. You might have to do some a little bit of memorization there, so but not a heck of a lot. You just have to know how many sharps are in the key of A and how many sharps are in the key of E. In the key of D, we've got 2 sharps. Key of G, 1 sharp. Key of C, no sharps or flats. Okay, so that's just a little bit of an introduction to hey, what the heck's going on with keys in open position? And that's a really great place to start. Remember that the most common keys spell the word cage, the most common open keys. If you get really, really proficient at playing in those keys, it's going to take you a heck of a long way. As a matter of fact, think about it this way as well. If you get really proficient with these 5 keys, and then learn the foundation or the fundamentals of using a capo. You can take that capo and put it on the second fret. C would become D, G would become A, D would become E, A would become B, right? E would become the key of F sharp. If you capoed on the third fret, you'd have the key of C. These chords would be in the key of E flat. These chords would be in the key of B flat, and so on, right? And these chords would be in the key of F. So if you use your capo very little, you can play in all 12 keys and still be using these nice open chord sounds. Okay, that's a fair bit to take in, I would say, and I may do something else on this topic. Yeah, it seems to me that more there seems to be a lot of people talking about playing fast licks and stuff, but they don't really understand the foundations of just simply changing keys and basic musicianship. And I guess that's what I'm trying to address here. Okay, that's it for today. Thanks for dropping by, and subscribe, all that stuff, that YouTube stuff. And also comments are really, really helpful. And don't start dissing my voice or anything, because really, seriously, I would get so upset. It would make me really depressed. Okay, and yeah, so that's about it. And try that out. Make sure that you group those keys and that you can play in 5 keys at the drop of a hat. Okay, thanks a lot. See you soon.